the pros and cons of solo operating,
yeah.
and Bud, what would you say is your biggest challenge as a solo operator?
Yeah, I think we can forget the movies where you've got a team of
Yeah.
10 guys. No. In most operations, chances are you're alone. If the budget is good, there's two of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's no company backing you that's like sending you out to do your Regulation 21.
Hey,
There's no company that's
if the
sending you
sponsors
out.
out there, send them out, man. We'll gladly wear your t-shirt. I've always had, the small little weak me that's I'm always just trying to kill that man. I don't want this man to resurrect again. The greatest thing that ever happened to me is I got a mentor. Bloody heck, he's a man's man. All right.
Sure.
So exposure for me was a big thing. Is being exposed to operators who are better than me in every way, shape, or form. It's very straining mentally, emotionally as well. And you can sometimes, I think, lean towards being friends with your clients. And that's when things can get very. I know a guy personally who lost out on a contract that was going to pay him 80,000 Rand a month because he was out of shape.
Wow.
So I've got brothers that I'm accountable to that keep me checked out, man.
That's important.
Yeah.
Hey, when I look at you.
Hey, you
No, I look at you. I look at you.
did it for, can I say, for how long?
Yeah, listen.
For almost 15 years.
Yeah. When you're not with the team, there's less politics to deal with.
There's none.
There's less politics to deal with. Hey guys, today I'm going to be sitting in studio again with Sandile. Buddy, it is amazing to have you back. Thank you so much. And we're going to be discussing solo operations and the challenges that we face as such. You guys know Sandile is a familiar face. He's actually been a part of the absolute first podcast that we did. Sandile, welcome back, bud.
Oh, thanks, man. It's always good being back. It feels like it's been a lifetime, man. So yeah, I mean, I love everything that you've been doing. I've been following a bit of the work.
Thank
Of
you,
course, he's a
champ.
good friend of mine. I think the podcast has come a long way. It's always good. I think sitting here with the viewers, with yourself here. So let's get into it, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And obviously, you're here for us to discuss some challenges, the pros and cons of solo operating,
yeah.
And, Bud, what would you say is your biggest challenge as a solo operator?
It's really, I think, coming into terms and realizing that you can't be everything all the time.
Sure.
Right? And I think having to segment how good you are, being realistic with it. Look, sir, if we're on the road, all I can do is drive, right? All I can do is this, right? And being able, I think, to flow with the operation and understanding that you cannot be playing all the roles effectively all the time, right? I think so. The challenge is just, flowing with the operation and making sure that things are smooth.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the resource management, right?
Yeah.
I think trying to get all the resources you need at the right time all the time, this could be very difficult.
Yeah.
But I must be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe being a solo operator for me is actually a preference.
Sure.
But yeah, I think those are the challenges. I think just being able to be the right role at the right time and then transitioning between all those roles as you move throughout your day.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we often speak about this. There's so many different functions. Often the things that the clients don't get to see within a team, just getting a client somewhere.
Yeah.
There's obviously the advancement work that must be done. Now, if we look at a big team, probably a government team or something, it's awesome. It's amazing because now, for starters, they've got an advanced team. But as a solo guy, you have to conduct that advance for yourself.
That's if there's time.
That's if there's even time to get to that point,
Yeah.
But I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Is like when you're on a team, everyone's got a responsibility.
Yeah.
When you on a team, there's like the driver drives. That's his job. The advance party, they go out and they do the advance work. But as a solo guy, man, as a guy that's been operating as a solo guy for a very long time,
Yeah.
you get to do your advancement work when the client is in the hotel,
Yeah. Yeah.
when he is on downtime. So wherever you're going to the next day, that's pretty much when you're gonna get chance to do the advancement work the previous evening.
That's if you can do it.
That's if you can do it.
And I
Even.
think that's the reality as well, right? That's why I said earlier on that as a solo operator, you can't be everything all the time.
Sure.
Sometimes you have to go in blind into other places. Sometimes that is the best setup, right? Depending on where you're going.
Sure.
That no one even knows that you're coming. You get in there, you do your thing, you're in and out.
Yeah.
But I think there are times where you just really have to, as you said, man, once your client is at his residence or wherever he's resting for the night, your night has just begun, depending once again on the task you have at hand and everything like that. So it does have, I think, a lot of limitations. However, once again, I still, I think, concede that for me, I think for my career, it has been, I think, a better setup because the advantages of it is it challenges you as an operator to be holistic.
Sure.
That when you get into other teams, you can be the advanced guy. You can drive the rover vehicle in the front. You can be on communication. You can drive the VIP. You can be the bodyguard. You can be surveillance, counter surveillance. So I think what it does, the advantage of being a solo operator is when you know what to do, man, you can be a machine.
Sure.
And then the disadvantage is now when you get to a big team, you see everything that's not perfect.
Sure.
Because you are used to your perfect little haven,
Sure.
which might not be perfect, but it's
your
perfect in the
setup.
sense that it's your setup. Hey, if I was driving, I would do this, but he's not doing the same thing.
Yes, yes.
If I was, the PPO with the client in the vehicle, I'll do this, but he's not doing it. So the disadvantage of it is it can give you a very critical eye. And when you get into a team, you really have to remember, hey, I'm part of a bigger team now.
Yeah.
This team has been doing things a certain way and they've been functioning.
Yeah.
Let me hold my role and just make sure that I'm dominating
Sure.
the role that I'm playing at that specific moment.
For me personally,
Yeah.
it's the driving. Pulling up at a venue, you have to park, you have to get the client in. I think for me, that's the biggest challenge. It's always taken a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I'm big on advancement work, so rock up the day before or a couple of hours before.
Yeah.
Really just make that friends with security there,
Yeah.
car park guys. Try and keep the parking spot as close to the entrance exit as what you possibly can.
Yeah.
It's not always possible.
No, it's not.
But
It's not,
for me,
yeah.
I think that for me is the biggest challenge, where it's like the driving part. I have to drive you and get you into the venue.
And I think with that, the reality of it is you'll have to let somebody into that bubble. Whether it's somebody that's driving your car, valet service, that's in your bubble right there, the person's got access to your vehicle, right? Or that's somebody that's I just forgot that probably still part of valet, that as you're walking up, they are the ones that are grabbing your client's door, right? So, but I think the better setup with solo operators is that most of the time you will operate in a more of a localized area. It's not, and I could be 100% wrong, but it's not very often that you'll find a lot of traveling just as a solo operator. So you've got a lot of people coming into that bubble. But I think after a while, because you are local so much, then you start building those relationships and those friendships, with the hotels you normally go to or the restaurant or the meeting places, such that, I mean, what I've done in the past is when I started being familiar with the area, then I will just go there myself on a normal Tuesday evening and meet the restaurant. Hey, man, I come here quite often.
Yes.
Can I have your number that whenever I'm coming here, I can just, drop you a quick WhatsApp message
definitely.
or just call you, and say,
definitely.
hey, man, I'm on the way. It's me. Let's do it, right? But with that, you also got to get the buy-in of the clients. So there will be instances where I'll be in the car and I'll got to put somebody on speaker and talk to them because that's the person that's going to be accommodating us on the other side, right? So it does have its challenges, but I love it, man. I think it keeps me alive. Honestly, being man, that's my forte.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But you find yourself as a freelancer, you find yourself a lot where you get to transition from solo to teamwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yet you still love the solo the most.
I do. I think because I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm a control freak, man. Right. So I know that if I want things to be done a certain way, I'll do it a certain way.
Sure.
But with getting into a team, I think, as I said earlier on, is you find that there's already a structure, or there's absolutely no structure, and then you guys must come together, and in a matter of a day, you must put a structure together.
Sure.
And sometimes that's where not even egos, but that's where maybe experiences could clash because maybe somebody has been a solo operator as well,
Sure.
and they've been doing things one way. You've been a solo operator, you've been doing things one way. So it's about coming together and saying, this is what we are all good at. So one of the things I do when I move from solo into a team, let's say maybe there's 4 or 5 of us, is I'll say, okay, guys, let's pretend it's a perfect world.
Yeah.
We've got all the resources. Okay, number one, what would you like to do in the team? What's your best quality? Guys, hey man, give me the VIP car. I'm the smoothest driver. You sure? Yeah, got it. Next person. What would you like to do? Man, I'm very good with, interpersonal skills. I'm the guy I can talk to clients. Okay, great. Then you the
Advanced.
PPO, right? So every person, generally how I would like to run it is I'll say, what is our favorite role or best role in the industry, and then try and get everybody in the team set up to be that role or to be a role that's as close to that as possible. Then you find that everybody then seemingly it's easier to operate because everybody is functioning in their strengths, and you're not slotting in people because you need operators to be slotted into certain roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot of work out in Africa.
Enough.
Enough. Okay.
Enough.
Some of the challenges that you find? That's hard to hear?
Firstly, not being a local.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's a difficulty you will find, I guess, in most places, especially when you get into Africa, where you realize that you really are nobody. You're just another person that's jumping off a plane and going to a foreign country. Right. And because you're from South Africa, automatically that's Africa's first world. So automatically the thought is we're seeing dollars. Right. So from you being, I remember there's an operation I just did in West Africa where I landed as a protector, but I had to get protection before transitioning into that protection role. So it's understanding that when you go there, there is a moment when now I was the protectee. I needed to be protected so that I can be in a safe space and safe environment. Now then for me to have my setup and then be the protector, with the local assets that are on the ground when my principal gets on the ground. And for me, that was the first things. Okay, for now, let me relax. Let me be the client sitting in the client seat. Let me take it all in. Now, let me take from the notes I could make, while I was at home using Google, using various agencies, and verifying that firstly, are those things still as they are when I'm on the ground, right? And then transitioning now to be, okay, now I'm the protector, but understanding that I'm still functioning in a foreign country as a foreigner. So even though I'm a protector, I can't be as protective, I don't know the word, as I am on local soil, because I don't have those assets inside in the foreign country. I don't have that authority. So I gotta humble myself and realize I'm on somebody's soil. Let them take control. I control. My thing, I think, with being out of working, especially into Africa, is allowing the local assets to do what they do well. Right? And I ensure that I keep the integrity of the bubble of my protectee. Then I'm still then the one that's interacting directly with my client. And then I relay the message then to the outer circle, to my drivers, to my advanced guys, to my outer circle guys and everything else. So as long as I can keep the relationship that I still have direct contact with the protectee in the vehicle, and they have direct contact with me, and I just manage those relationships, then everything runs smooth.
Awesome, bud.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you are obviously in great shape. So we definitely, and I know that's something that you're quite strict on.
Yeah.
Firstly, with yourself.
Yeah.
And with other protectors. You're a massive critic when it comes to that. Run us through some of your training.
Oh man, geez, I think. Okay, first things first. I remember. Oh man, there was an operation that's gonna go on for about 6 months. I didn't know it was gonna be 6 months. I remember the briefing came in about 2 months ahead. It's like, hey, there's a prospect operation in the middle of nowhere. This was just what the office said to me. In the middle of nowhere, good luck. I'm like, tell me the name of the place. As soon as I got the name, I'm not lying to you. The first thing I did is I went into Google and I wanted to find what is the closest gym or any training facility on that ground. I'm like, okay, I see 2 gyms. So the moment we got on the ground, I remember we met our POC at a garage. They picked us up, took us to accommodation. I'm like, thank you. All right, man. So I need to get somewhere. They're like, you just got here. I'm like, exactly. I need to get to that gym and find out, is it functioning? Literally, I drove to the gym. I met the gentleman. It was a Sunday. The gym was almost closed when you get there. I'm like, okay. He says, oh, you know what? There is another gym further up the road. Go check that one out.
Wow.
So the first thing I think before getting to the routine is wherever I am, I try as much as I can to find a gym, find the costs ahead of time. If I need to have cash on me, I make sure I've got cash on me. I mean, I do that even in foreign countries. In West Africa, I found a gym in the middle of nowhere because I was like, this is important to me.
Sure.
Right. And then
The Dreamstream studio in Randburg is a full-service studio on Bromfisher Drive. It's perfectly suited for podcast, music recordings, and general video recordings. Backed up by an experienced editing and production team means you can walk in, record, and walk out knowing that everything will get done as you require. Our mobile gear ensures we can cover your video and live streaming needs on location too. We got the cameras, the lights, and the action to make you and your brand shine. Contact us now, studio@dreamstream.co.za, and we'll make it happen. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
look, I really don't have, man, a set routine. You know, I mean, you've been training as well for days. You remember they call it the bro split.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
one day you do chest, next
Yeah.
day you do back.
Yeah.
So I really, man, now because of the traveling and stuff, I just go and I just really try to train 3 times a week, 4 times if I can, and just train each muscle group at least once.
Okay.
And sometimes it's really just by feel, man. I just go them like, okay, yesterday I did chest, could do arms. They feel a bit stiff. Let me do back. You know, so I mean, because I've been doing it for so long,
Sure.
I don't have set structure that says today I'm gonna do this, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. I just really go by feel.
Sure.
But I just say as long as I've trained everything once a week, I'm pretty good. Yeah.
But the one thing that stands out for me with you is that you're super disciplined. You're hyper disciplined. For a lot of guys that's within teams, companies, etc., the standards can almost like start dulling a little bit. Standards can like pretty much start falling. Especially we have the excuses of, we work crazy long hours.
And we do, yeah.
We do, right? But with you, there's been that no compromise.
Yeah.
There's been that absolute, like,
Yeah.
there's no excuses. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I watch you sometimes, like 11 o'clock at night, the brother's getting his workout in.
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning, the brother's getting his workout in, you know? And then obviously there's the time that you spend on the range. Now, as a solo operator, as a freelancer, you know, you carrying these costs for yourself. There's no company backing you that's like sending you out to do your regulation 21.
Hey,
There's no company that's
If the
sending you
sponsors
out.
out there, send them out, man. We'll gladly wear your t-shirt. We'll carry your drink at the range, man. You know whatever it is. No, there's nobody doing that now.
Yeah. So I mean, what gets you to that point where you're just like, you know what, I have to make this investment?
Yeah. Look, for me, the greatest thing, and I think we've had this in private discussion, the greatest thing that ever happened to me is I got a mentor. Bloody heck, he's a man's man. All right.
Sure.
So when when I met my mentor, I was like, bloody heck, if I could be half of this man, I'd be happy. And then I started asking him, so what do you do? Like, take me, like what has gotten you where you are, right? So for me, the first thing was humbling myself and realizing that I'm not as good as I think I am.
Yeah.
Right. So exposure for me was a big thing, is being exposed to operators who are better than me in every way, shape, or form. Me realizing that they are better than me. Right. This guy's a better, he's in better shape, he's a better runner, this one is a better shooter, this one speaks better, this one is more articulate.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, so within my circle of protecting colleagues, friends, buddies, whatever it is, let me find something that this person is a super badass in, and I want to take him on that. Right? I'm very competitive, and that I think has gotten me a bit of an edge in the industry.
Definitely.
because there are principals who will judge you on that. In fact, today, I was actually having a discussion, with a brother of ours in the industry about the whole training thing, and I said, I know a guy personally who lost out on a contract that was going to pay him 80,000 rand a month because he was out of shape.
Wow.
The client, I even remember where we were. The client literally looked at me and was like, oh, you know what, man? I would really love to have you as part of my team. So I was in and out of the team. I wasn't part of it full time. It was like, I would really love to have you in this team, but you're just fat. I'm like,
Wow.
what? Did he just, right? So that client had the balls to say it. Others don't. Others just look, it's like, yeah. He's
Not
all
the
right.
fit.
No, yeah,
So
he,
your
he
feelings.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't do the fit, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I would say because in any team, I've never been the biggest guy.
Sure.
So I've always had an inferior complex that I'm always trying to destroy. I've always had the small little weak me that's always I'm always just trying to kill that man. I don't want this man to resurrect again.
Sure.
So that's why I do the things I do. That's why I train as much as I can. I spend as much time at the range I can. I read as much as I can because I know where I come from and I don't want to get there.
Yeah.
But more importantly, there are operators who are better than me that I know personally, and in each one of them, there's something that I'm like, if I can be as close to him in that area, I'm good. Next one, if I can be as good as him in that, I'm good. So I've got brothers that I'm accountable to that keep me checked out, man.
That's important,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
having a set of guys around you
Yeah.
that hold you to a standard.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I think like standards has really like dropped so much within our industry lately, and largely that's almost our own fault. Is that we've allowed for that,
Yeah,
and now we're at a point where people are just hiring anything that fits a little bit of intimidation. It's like, can I get a big guy? And I sound like a broken record when I say this. It's like hiring a big guy with a firearm. I think I sound, honestly, I sound like a broken record because
But you're
I
not
s-
lying though.
but literally, I'm literally feeling like I'm beating the same drum
Yeah.
over and over and over. And again, that's terrible for a guy like you to look at because of how much of yourself you pour into yourself, how
Yeah,
much you pour
yeah.
into the industry. Your excellence level is like way up there, but then you harden yourself, and I think that's what it comes down to, is
Yeah.
how hard you are on yourself.
But I think Ellie, I think especially as a freelancer and as a solo operator most of the time, right? You are everything.
Sure.
Right. So in order for me to be able, I think, to comfortably take on the different tasks that you spoke about,
Yeah.
that in a team of 3, 4, 5 guys,
Yeah.
someone will do the advance.
Yes.
Somebody will solemnly be responsible, or maybe 2 agents for the
Mm.
driving. Another person will be responsible. So all of those roles are taking a lot of energy
Mm.
and time, and all of those protectors, when they go through those steps of planning, they get tired, they get hungry, they get worn out, right? So how much more now as one operator, you gotta do all those things,
Mm.
and then you still gotta get home on time. And so for me, I found that I think working out, staying in relatively good shape gives me that extra mental edge.
Yes.
That even when I'm by myself, that I don't find myself falling asleep because I'm just worn out.
Yeah.
Whereas in a bigger team, you can be like, hey, drivers, get your seats back, man. Relax,
Sure.
take a nap, we've got you covered, right? Your role is more on the road. But as a solo operator, you gotta be the best that you can be in all aspects. That when you're driving, be as good as the guy who only drives, right? When you are moving with your client, maybe through the mall, be as good as the client, as the guy on the team only responsible for that. When you're out there doing advanced work, be as good as that's the only task you have to do, but you got to do all of that as one individual.
Sure.
So if I'm dipping, on my health and my fitness and my mental strength, then the output of my performance, of my work rather, will also decline.
Of course.
Yeah.
For me, I think a lot of discussions I have with guys is reading. A lot of guys that like steps to me like, oh, I want to get into the industry. This is what I want to do. I'm like, read.
Yeah.
Get a book.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
read.
there's some great ones here
There's some
that we've read. So
that
yeah.
we've read. And,
Yeah.
and we, I think the beautiful thing that I love about our relationship is the moment we find a good book, we're sharing it.
So it's like,
we're
hey
sharing the
man,
information.
have you read this book? Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
and that keeps you sharp. It keeps you, that one step ahead mentally, keeps you pumped up, keeps you fired up, keeps your passion alive.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys don't have that. A lot of guys are like they want to get there, they want to do the job, they want to get paid, and they want to leave, For me, that's something that personally, it puts me off from a lot of guys. I have to interview a lot of guys. I have to spend a lot of time with guys.
Oh yeah, you've been doing that late. I mean, quite a lot lately, especially with the company that's running and everything.
Sure.
You're spending a lot of time talking to protectors.
Sure.
Yeah.
Something that I struggle with is sitting and explaining to a client, like, if you're going to be hiring one person, not everyone has the budget for a full team and all the assets, etc. But it's trying to get the client to understand, listen, you're hiring one person to primarily do 6-7 people's jobs.
Yeah.
He's got to do surveillance, counter surveillance, again, the advancement work. He has to drive, he has to be your BG, he has to do the planning, recon work, etc. Like, you're only paying for one person, technically.
Yeah.
But that one person, if they have enough passion, if they have enough fire, they can pull it off. They certainly can pull it off. And I mean, I look at you.
Hey, you
No, I look at you. I look
you
at you.
did it for, can I say, for how long?
Yeah, listen.
For almost 15 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm a student of the game still. You know.
But I think that's the beauty of it. I think especially as a solo operator, that because there's so many moving parts, you gotta be a kid to do it effectively. You know, I think you can't be a solo operator that functions only on experience.
Yeah.
Because trust me, there is that one security guy at that boom gate who's gonna be like, chief, but I don't know you.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta, you gotta be humble, you gotta be a child, and you gotta take it as it comes, right?
I think what helped me a lot was how I got into the industry.
Yeah.
And after the bouncing phase, the protection side of things, I just had a group of these old school guys that just they saw my hunger, and I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to know how to be able to do everything on the team. Honestly, I just wanted to know how to do everything.
Oh, sorry. You just reminded me. I mean, there's a team when I started. I remember the one time just like, guys, can I just get you guys food? I mean, that's what I would do on the team, man.
You know what? I mean, you know, and that's the thing with you and I. You know, we literally speak the same language, because a lot of the youngsters now, I'm like, go find a team that you can just work on, shadow them. You know, it's difficult because of like the role that we play. You know, the type of industry that we're in, confidentiality with the client, etc. All of that. But if you can honestly just find a team that you can roll with and you can learn from. You know, for me, I was very fortunate to just find this really old school team. And I think the one thing that they enjoyed was I just wanted to know everything. So they abused me. Listen to me. They used me and they abused me. But you know what, bud? I came out better for it at the end. I genuinely, I came out better for it. Like when they taught me how to do linear maps, when they taught me how to do, you know, dude, you know what I'm saying? Everything.
Yep.
It was just a matter of, I just really wanted to know how to do everything. So by the time I eventually went and I did the courses and whatever, I was very familiar with these things already.
Which even made the course easier.
Which made the course like easier, you know? And also I've had great instructors. Like I must be honest, like every course I've done, there's been something I've taken away from everything, you know?
Yeah.
But having that as the foundation where I just poured myself into every task. If I'm going to fetch the water, man, I'm going to be the best water boy today ever. And now within any operation, even as a solo operator, when it's time to get the water, man, listen, at one point, I was the water boy on the team. So guess what? I can fetch the water. If I'm having to do...
And you'll be the guy in the fridge trying to find... No, wrong temperature. That's the one.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And we're laughing about it right now. But something that I'm so strict on is that, especially with familiar clients, I'm like, okay, I know this client drinks this temperature. Okay, no, this one prefers room temperature. So even when they're going to get into the car, if it's a husband and wife, he wants cold water, she wants room temperature. Have it in their seats already, how it needs to be packed, how it needs to be positioned. So there's still that excellence, you know, that comes with it. So as a solo operator, for me personally, that's like what it comes down to is like, you have to perform like every task that a team would, but performing it with excellence
every
at
day,
every level.
Every day,
buddy. Every day. When you're driving with the husband, this is how he prefers the driving. This is how he prefers the aircon. If you're alone with a female, this is how she prefers the aircon. This is how she prefers the driving. And
when they're together, you look at the husband because he knows the wife is the boss today.
Yeah,
and
no, exactly.
You're like, sir, today he's like, just
100%, you know. But again, it's delivering that excellent service at all levels, you know, and being able to apply every skill when the need arises, you know. The challenges of a solo operator, the list goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, we can sit here all day and discuss it. How's your work going in America?
It's been a bit quiet. Okay. I've just got a few things I think that are in the works. I think both in the US and in parts of Africa. And believe it or not, and most of it is it's solo work, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's what we touched on that. you know, to be, look, I'm not saying I'm the best of the best, but I'm good. I mean,
think
I know that, right?
yeah.
So
The Dreamstream Studio in Randburg is a full-service studio on Bram Fisher Drive. It's perfectly suited for podcast, music recordings, and general video recordings. Backed up by an experienced editing and production team means you can walk in, record, and walk out knowing that everything will get done as you require. Our mobile gear ensures we can cover your video and live streaming needs on location too. We got the cameras, the lights, and the action to make you and your brand shine. Contact us now, studio@dreamstream.co.za, and we'll make it happen. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
but all of those tasks outside of the country, chances are, man, it's because you've built certain relationships,
Sure.
and you just get, you get the phone call, hey, come through, do it, and you come by yourself, right? And wherever you are, once again, you start afresh, establish local assets, contacts, and you just work at it. Being a solo operator, man, I think it's a skill, but I think it's a skill that every operator can have if they just
If
want
they
it.
develop it.
It's a develop it, right?
If they develop
and
it,
the thing is with it, it's more relationship based, that a client will call your company and say, hey, I want this person,
yeah,
right? Or the client will call you if it's that type of, and say, hey, I want you. Don't, not a team. Don't send somebody. I want you, because it's a relationship thing, right? So it's not for everyone, because I think it can get very, very boring. It's you, yourself, and you most of the time. And because you're alone, once work starts, you can be off your phone for 15, 20 hours a day because you're on task, right? So I think it's very straining mentally, emotionally as well. And you can sometimes, I think, lean towards being friends with your client. And that's when things can get very, very, I'll say intimate, because it's only you, and the client is gonna pour into you and tell you certain things, and and you gotta keep certain secrets. But the key is still drawing that thick boundary line, saying, look, I'm just a buffer, man. I'm just gonna listen. I'll comment where I'm asked to, and when it ends, it ends. It can't go anywhere. I can't be telling stories about, hey, you know what, 3 years ago, because that will leak, and one day to get back to your client, like, wait, but you're the only person I've told this to.
Sure.
Right. So I think it comes with a lot of secrecy as well. And the fact that you are trusted with so much as an individual, I think it's a high level of trust that we have to keep, especially as solo operators, because we know that information is only filtering through one person. Yeah, man.
Buddy. Listen, I mean, your passion for what you do, I'm always gonna come back to that. You're highly passionate about what you do, and I've got a lot of respect for you within the industry. I'm grateful to have you on my team.
It's always good, man. It's always good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
The standards, that you keep within the industry, amazing. Anything else that you'd like to unpack as a solo guy?
No, look, it's I think it really comes down to, it's you, man.
Yeah.
It's all on you. It's all on you, man. It's all on you in your training, in your planning, in your driving, in your daily operations, and how you carry yourself out. And I think if you can maintain relatively high standards, whatever those are, for yourself as an individual, then it's easy to translate that into your work as you work as an individual, because your client will see it. Fellow operators will see it. Service providers will see it. Shareholders will see it.
Sure.
And I think you can make quite a good life just rolling, man. As a one-man team, but knowing that you've got the backing of other service providers, operators, shareholders, because you've built that. As a one-man person that's always doing it over and over and over again. So I think there's great room. I think for solo operators, because also most times you will be alone. I think we can forget the movies where you've got a team of 10 guys. No. In most operations, chances are you're alone. If the budget is good, there's 2 of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
that can feel like you're alone, because
Yeah.
sometimes, you'll find that in a two-man team, one person is moving with the client and you in the car.
In the vehicle, yeah.
In the vehicle,
Yeah.
right? So, but yeah, I think, it's good, man. The industry, I think, is going the right way holistically.
Yeah.
And let's just go at them and keep the standards high and do what you do best, which is protect people.
No, literally. For me, I think it's a catch-22. One, when you're not with the team, there's less politics to deal with.
There's none.
There's less politics to deal with. But on the other side, when you are busy pulling a 16, 17, 18-hour day, there's no radio, there's no earpiece where the guys start making jokes when everyone is tired.
Those jokes keep you alive.
And they
man.
keep you alive, buddy. You know what I'm saying? They keep you awake. They keep you sharp. And that really that's the one aspect of being on a team that is nice. Is that
definitely.
listen, the guy starts carrying each other. Those jokes. I mean, they start coming up, and then you're like, okay,
Just make sure your earpiece is in, man.
yeah, exactly. You want to
Yeah.
make sure. You want to make sure because the guys are not always the kindest on the radios. Don't ever make the client hear what the guys are
No,
speaking
bad-
about.
bad idea.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's not the nicest conversations, the cleanest jokes that the guys have. But I mean, ultimately, that is the one part for me that's like nice about having a team is that at the end of the day, or towards the end of the day, there's kind of that team
That
spirit that
brotherhood, yeah.
fuels you up. As where when you're alone, you don't have that.
Yeah, don't have-
So
yeah.
now you start tapping into your own motivation. Now you start tapping into just yourself, and now that discipline comes up. And again, I come back to the discipline side of things. How disciplined are you? Do you start developing I know I'm tired now, now you want to start leaning against the wall, now you want to start.
And look, and sometimes when you get a chance, just do it for like a few seconds, right? But that can't be your standard.
But that can't be your standards.
exactly.
That can't be your standards. I think also something that we hardly ever touch on is how harshly the guys judges each other from within the industry. Like no one is better critics than protectors, man. Like we literally teams or solo, like everything gets judged on how you do, how a team, how a unit, moves together. They get judged on that. When you solo, how do you move with your principal? When you are busy parking the vehicle, and did you just leave him there at the door? Oh, now you're gonna come back and fetch him?
But I can't do it all.
You also so again, man, the guys judges each other so harshly from within the industry. A guy's on his phone, we don't always understand what the background is to why this man is on his phone. He's trying to trying to contact the guy on the inside that he planned with when he came to do the advance work, saying, listen, here, we're on our way. And yet the guys are judging, he was with his client, but he's not focused, he's not scanning this, that, to the other. He's as a solo operator, moving your client through a crowd. Now, when you're a team, that's obviously better, obviously,
Of course, yeah.
but solo, how do you find that?
Let's not do it if we can't.
Yeah, but you don't always have the luxury.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, I mean, the first instance, you're like, wait, we cannot do this, right? And then sometimes just be like, okay, sir, if you really need to go through this way, well, let's do it a certain way. Okay, you are here, I'm here.
Yeah.
If you feel this, it's time to go, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's about having those 10, 15 seconds of, okay, so we're going to go through the door. That's where you're going to go out. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's one thing then if it's interacting with the crowd, like he knows, okay, he's going to meet people, he's going to greet people.
Sure.
Then how I've done, in fact, I just remember on the last trip I did, I think it was just to East Africa. I was not solo, but it's gonna come back to what I'm saying with the crowd thing is, I got in as the advanced guy and I realized, hold up, there's a crowd here. And I called the team like, well, guys, are you aware that there's a crowd that's waiting here? Okay, just brief him how we're gonna flow in that, because even that, for camera purposes, you can't have a whole team there.
Yeah.
So for a moment, you are isolated as the one that's moving with the client, right? So it's about sometimes trying to get the buy-in of the crowd when you can. That, okay, guys, it's gonna come through. Please shake hands, fist pumps, whatever. Don't hold him. But even with him, it's about understanding. Okay, sir, we don't have the protection that we think we have. It's a big crowd.
Yeah.
Let's make it smooth. Let's make it, let's make it flow, and let's go with it. And you really, as fairy tale as it sounds, you pray and hope that your client buys into what you're saying.
Sure.
Because then if they don't, then the whole thing is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Then you're improvising as you go along.
Yeah. So obviously you freelance a lot.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend educating? Do you find yourself doing that a lot with a client where you like have to brief them ahead of time with like, listen, because you're working with a lot of different clients
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
It's quite easier if you're working with one client like all the time. You kind of like learn to read each other. Even like if you're the guy that's maybe in a separate vehicle and your client is in their own vehicle and you escorting them, you kind of pick up each other's driving,
Yeah, got
and
you.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But if it's like a newer client, do you end up do you brief the client ahead of time? Like, listen here, stay more left, I'm gonna stay more right so that I can see past you. Do you end up doing things like that?
Oh, you mean like maybe for driving, for example?
For driving, whether it's driving or whether it's walking through a venue.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've never done a lot of once-off self-driving tasks.
Okay.
So I think I've done those more in an established. So maybe I've been with a client for a while. One day decides, okay, I'm gonna take my car, and I think that's a different conversation. But I think for me, you know, with most once off, it's a matter of, okay, let me read his temperature. You know, I don't want to start babbling instructions when he's just, you know, sitting there. You know, maybe he's on a Teams meeting. He's just waiting for me to be like, okay, 3 minutes. Okay, guys, I gotta, you know, grab his door. Most of the time, the luxury is not there. It's a matter of just you flowing through it, man. But however, with those operations also, the threats and the risks and everything else is not as high, and that's why you buy yourself. So you can afford to be like, okay, sir, we're just gonna go in there. Oh, we're gonna meet so and so. Okay, and then they're gonna take you through. Okay, great. Right? In a perfect world, you'd want that briefing session, unless they're traveling with like a PA or something. Then it's easier to relay that, hey, okay, we're gonna go there, we're gonna do this. But most of the times, really, you know, as one man teams, you just got a schedule. Hey, this is my plan for the day. Take me through the calendar. Let's make sure we do it safely. Unless there's anything specific, maybe that you've picked up through your local contacts or assets on the ground that you really need to brief him on. Then you can be like, well, sir, in that place there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe let's do things this way. But other than that, I think you just you know, you take it as you go, man. That's the reality of it.
Sure. And there was a guy that came to me the other day and was like, listen, he really wants to start freelancing. He wants to move away from the team where he's at. But he's only ever worked within teams. He's been in the industry for about 3-4 years now. Since he came, and he's only ever been in teams. He doesn't know what to expect. And I tried to drive it home to him. I was like, listen, for starters, establish your own set of standards. You know, you had company standards to work with this whole time. Now you're going to be a freelancer. You have to have your own standards.
That's a good one. I thought about that.
When you were with a company, you had certain equipment and things that you could work with. You are now a solo freelancer. You don't have access to the same type of equipment unless you go and you get certain things registered, etc., etc. You know, particularly like your firearm registrations, that sort of things. And having the discussion with your client ahead of time that says, listen, I'm a freelancer. You know, I don't have access to the same sort of privileges, resources, you know, that I used to have. Be upfront with those things. I think for me, that was like my driving force with him was like, listen, make sure that you have those discussions first. It's going to keep you out of trouble. It's going to keep, you know, you on the honest side with your client. The expectations will be, you know, but then you can always build that rapport with the client, you know, and doing a good job.
Yeah, but I think also, you know, with the freelancing, like I've done 99.99% of my freelancing through established companies and agencies, right? So I was a freelancer, but not working as an individual. As a freelancer most of my work, I'm a freelancer for agencies that are established. So I still have access to the resources and everything that I need.
Perfect.
Right, which then has made it, I think, a bit better, because even from a compliance side, story for another day, it's better like that. But
and that's what I was about to ask you, you know, because again, it comes down to compliance. And obviously that comes with its own set of challenges. Maybe one day we'll have a
have a legal guy in the room.
We'll have a legal representative, you know, that can take us through all of that. But for you,
look, your presentation, firstly, I think, you know, especially I think going to the guy who's just transitioning, right? I would say, I don't know if the question is maybe maybe to help him navigate that, right? So, but maybe to him I say, look, establish yourself with certain entities in the country. I mean, literally just go on Google. you'll find them. I don't be throwing
yeah,
names.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you'll
yeah,
find, 3-4 of the best, whatever best means,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Of the, let me rather say, established
Sure.
company, especially in Johannesburg. There are a couple, 3 or 4. Send your documents through, get in their database, meet the various expectations that they have. Then your pool of work as a freelancer then expands, because you're not relying on yourself
Yeah.
going to find work as an individual. There's a company, there's employed people to find work, who get work. Then they'll come to you and say, hey, Sandile, here's work. We've got a client that's coming in for 3-4 days. Are you available? Are you interested? Let's go do it. Right? I'll say, don't try do it by yourself as an individual.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because firstly, how are they even going to know about you?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the first thing, right? How is your prospect clients going to know about you? And how can they trust you as an individual if you're not verified by an established agency?
Sure.
So I think it's firstly getting that verification through maybe 1 or 2 big companies, or whatever companies when I call them. And then through that, then your individual brand then will start to grow. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to unpack for us?
No, nothing else, man.
Is it?
Us, we can go on. No, we can go on forever, man.
But
I
again,
think,
what?
yeah, that's pretty much it from the solo operator perspective.
Awesome, man. Sandile, and as always, we highly appreciate your
No,
time.
thank you, man.
We
It's
know
always
that you're a
good.
very busy guy. So whenever you're around, we kind of just feel like we need to grab you. You're a very busy man. So we really do appreciate it. And again, just your passion and how you're always willing to pour of yourself,
Thank you, man.
back into the industry, helping people, helping guys, come over. Thanks, man.
No, it's
Thank you
always a
so
pleasure.
much. Thank you
Until
so
next
much.
time. Thank you, sir.
Until next time.
All right, man.
Guys, thank you. And as always, keep safe out there.